everybody. Welcome back to our channel. We really appreciate you checking out and seeing what we're up to today. Well, as you saw, we got this wood splitter. Just fired it up, tested it out, make sure everything works well. Pretty happy we picked it up. We're going to be burning wood this year. We picked up a wood stove last April. Haven't got that installed yet, but that'll be one of the upcoming projects we got planned. And we've burned wood in the past, not on this property, but on other properties we've owned, and we never had a wood splitter. We just either rented, borrowed, or I was much younger and could split it all by hand. We used to burn about 7 quart a year. Did that for several years. Gets old after a while, but with the price of propane this year, we're really looking forward to getting that wood stove installed and burning wood again. So that'll be an upcoming project. With the camper project, you've been following the channel, you've seen that I've done a lot of camper projects in the past few videos. I've been getting other projects done, just haven't made videos of them, but going to be getting back to doing some of those other projects. I know I have one viewer who asked me to get back to my fireplace I started working on last spring. Haven't got back to that yet, hoping to do it soon, but probably won't be for a little bit more, so hang in there, we'll get to it. For the rest of you who may have joined because you either saw my videos on the Norwood lumber mill, sawmill, sorry, right here, and or also our Mahindra 2638 tractor right here. We appreciate you hanging in and checking out, seeing what we're up to. The way things work around here sometimes is projects just get rotated around. We're getting into the fall season now, and I'm just kind of looking forward to getting back into the log yard here and trying to get some of the projects we got done. I was sitting around the other night and trying to come up with a list of some of the projects I have, my to-do list, I guess you'd say, quite a to-do list. And I'm not going to get everything done before winter, but I got to prioritize that list and try to get some stuff knocked out that I can. A lot of the projects I got planned revolve around this sawmill and making lumber, which is why we got this lumber yard and all these trees cut down, and we got a bunch more that we haven't stacked up yet. So those are all things we got to get done. We're looking forward to getting to that. As I said before, the camper project kind of put us behind a little bit, and while we're really happy we did that, I'm glad that we got it and we got that all situated and we're good to go, although there's still some little projects to do. Time to get back to some other stuff that we got to get going. Let me show you what we've been up to. Some of you that have been following the channel for a little while now know that we cleared this whole area out last fall and made a log yard for our brand new Norwood LM30 sawmill right here. And one of the projects that we got permitted for is a roof that we got to build over this sawmill. Haven't even started that project yet. Luckily the permit's still good for, I think another year. So hoping to be able to get that started, but as I just mentioned, most of the projects we have lined up around here revolve around getting some lumber made. And unfortunately, as much work as we did in this lumber yard last year to get it all set up, I found over the course of using it the little bit that I did, it's still a little bit tight in here, and I needed a little bit more room, try and organize. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to need for space and storage, but once I started cutting up some lumber, I realized that with the tractor and everything that I need to store around here, really needed a little bit more room. And one of the projects I started was kind of giving myself some more space back in this area here. As you can see, this area back here was just recently cleared out, and I didn't make a video of it, but that's what I'm doing today, just kind of showing you where I'm at with this little project. One of the things I got to do is I got to finish pushing this back. I want to push this pile back to somewhere back in here, but there's a bunch of brush in here. Over here you can see I've got a stack of, I'm gonna walk over here, I got a stack of stumps that we pulled last year. Oh, there's quite a few in here, probably over a dozen. And well, I dumped them there last fall just because I was in a hurry, didn't really have a good spot to put them, and just needed to get them out of my way. Well, as it turns out, now they're in my way, and I need to get both this pile of brush and this pile of stumps moved. And what I decided to do is I'm going to make some room after much consideration and trying to figure out where to put that stuff so it's not in my way constantly. I decided that I was going to see if I can't get it back in here. I've got some little bit of room back in this area back here. To get there, I'm going to have to move this pile of logs, just get them out of the way for now. There's a couple stumps back here, but I'm pretty sure I can get some dirt back in here and kind of be able to get the stumps dumped back in this area back here. That way they'll be out of my way a little bit. The other pile of brush I need to move that I just pointed to so I can push that hill back. I'm going to move that over to this side of the, back here. As you can see, I've got another little pile of brush over here, and my hope is to move that all back in this area. So I was just over there where I want to put the stumps, and I figured I'd put the brush over in this area here. This will be kind of out of my way. The brush pile, I'll either break it down some more and we'll either end up just burning it as a brush pile, or if there's anything substantial enough, we'll be able to burn in our new wood stove I mentioned previously. What I found was, where I'm standing right now, this used to be a big hole that I had been burning brush in. I started to fill this hole in, and as I was getting this hole filled in, I realized it was really kind of tight for the tractor to get in here, and so I need to make a little more space, a little more room to get turned around. As I just mentioned, I've got this brush pile right here I've got to get out of the way, and so my plan for today is to see if I can't get this brush pile cleaned up, get some more dirt moved in here, and maybe even be able to start putting some, piling up some of that brush over in this area over here. So that's my plan for today. I'll be using the Mahindra 2638. I'm going to grab I think I'm going to put the grapple on and see if I can't pick up some of this brush. I probably will use the bucket first. I need to get a little more dirt to put in back here so that I can maneuver around a little bit. And also I got to put the grapple on to get those logs out of the way so that I can start grabbing these stumps over here. So I'm going to get the tractor fired up and we're going to start making some more room in this lumber yard here, and that'll be what we're going to be working on today. Squiggy, what are you doing? You don't let me in? Oh boy. Let's move.
Frozen pipes and unpredictable energy bills. For more details and to find an installation professional today, visit efficiencymain.com or call 866-376-2463.
Hey, Chris here. Need a new phone? At US Cellular, new and current.
Just got a new cover for the wood splitter here, and just came in. Figured I'd throw it on. Wasn't too sure about buying a cover. I don't remember how much it was, but it was maybe $30. And I thought, you know, I could probably throw a tarp on it for a lot cheaper. But I thought I'd take a chance and see what kind of quality this is. And I got to tell you, I'm kind of impressed. It's a pretty heavy duty material. It's got this waterproofing, if you can see that or not, kind of plastic or something on the inside, so it's kind of like a tarp. Canvas, heavy canvas with a drawstring, kind of like the drawstring. This one here was made for the 15 to 27 ton, which this is the 27 ton. Seems to fit all right, and yeah, pretty happy. Got the new cover on the wood splitter, log splitter. That'll be nice to have. Might as well protect that investment. Only cost us, I think, $1,000 for the wood splitter and $30 for the cover, so yeah, help keep it out of the weather a little bit. Anyway, back to the project I was working on here. I started the video a couple days ago, and since then we got a couple days of rain, which we really needed. We haven't had a whole lot of rain this summer, and kind of nice to see a good steady day and a half or so of just solid rain. Kind of gave everything a little enough dampening, even felt comfortable enough to, as you saw in the video, get a little brush fire going here, burn some brush. So that was nice. And if you might notice, that's where the pile of brush was the other day I was pointing to. And I did bring in some more of the brush from over on the other side of the yard, which I'll show you in a minute. Brought in a little bit more dirt over here. And I also started bringing in some of the stumps back over here. You can see I got a couple of them, or a few of them, brought in already. So making some progress. It's going a little slower than I thought I was going to go, but you know, I do what I can, and that's all we can do. So we'll making good progress getting this whole area cleaned up. My goal is to get this area kind of cleaned up, leveled out, so that I can start hauling these trees that you can see back here. We cut these down last spring, this past spring, and I really want to get them out of here and clean this whole area up before the snow comes. And a lot of good lumber in there, a lot of good firewood in there. We're going to be burning, as I said, firewood in our new wood stove this winter. Plus, we're going to need some firewood for maple syrup. These are all maple trees we left standing here, and probably not big enough to be tapping, but saw the value in keeping the maples around and figured, you know, even if we can't tap them right now, somewhere down the road, they'll be able to be, and that'll be nice. Got a whole bunch of them across the yard here. So anyway, back to the project. You can see I did move these logs out of the way so I can get the stumps in here. So that's nice. Got the grapple on the Mahindra 2638 right here. Love this grapple, and does a great job. Not always the easiest thing for picking up trees. Matter of fact, I don't know if you can see a little bit, I tweaked it a little bit here trying to pick up a tree, and had too much hanging off one end and kind of bent it, but it works fine. It's not a problem. Everything's working great, and I'm sure I can probably even bend it back if I wanted to, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. But yeah, the Mahindras are working great between the grapple and the loader and the forks. Had to put the forks on. We moved a couple pallets of slabs over here, and I'll just take you over here and show you what we got done here. We got a little bit more cleanup to do, but my goal right now would be to get this kind of cleaned up so that we can push this back. I want to get this cut back here and leveled out, at least up to here somewhere, back in that area. So my goal is to get this all cleaned out, leveled out. Be nice if I do it today. It's a little slow going. I got a little bit of the dirt mixed in here with the trees and whatnot. I don't really have a good place to put all the like, you know, just as fill kind of stuff, and forget about it, let it rot away. So I kind of got to separate it a little bit, which is going to be a little time consuming. That's kind of been what's been taking me a little bit longer than I had hoped to take on this little project, but that's fine. We will we'll work on getting this all cleaned up, and then we'll got maybe a couple more trees to take down here. Actually, that one's down already, but yeah, that's my goal. We'll get this done for today. I got kitties around my feet. There's Boss and Squiggy. Squiggy! Alright, so I'm going to get the camera set up here, and you can see I'm hauling the dirt across the yard over this area down over here. Get my finger out of the way, I can focus. And yeah, we'll work on getting this area cleaned up today. Might get a few more stumps moved if I have time. And once we get all that done, then we can start hauling some more trees out of the woods here and try to get this area cleaned up and organized a little bit better, make it a little more usable. What do you say? Want to get started? Yeah, want to get started? Squeaky. So here's what we got. Got a couple stumps here, still got to pull out. And one there, one down here, one back here. And I got to clean out this little pile of brush. But it's supper time, so I'm going to call that a day. And say that's not a bad afternoon work right there. We got that all cleaned out, and now I just got to level it out. Basically, we'll have some good fill here for another area of the yard, and this will give us a good expansion area to put more. Gonna put more pallets back here to stock some lumber and whatnot on, and so. All right, well, you can see I got most of that brush picked up. I got most of that brush picked up. I got a little pile left here behind me. And still got some down the hillside behind me here, but I'm not too worried about that. We can get to that later. My primary goal is to get this area cleaned out over here. So you can see this grapple I got here. This is called the rock log grapple. It's a little different than your standard log grapple. I bought this initially because we didn't have the backhoe that came with this tractor. We were waiting for it to come in. And while we were waiting for it to come in, I thought, you know what, I might be able to put this to work doing some small stumps and whatnot. And though it's not as powerful as a backhoe, obviously, it still does a pretty good job at picking out some smaller stumps. And as you saw from that, I can do a little back dragging with it. I can pick up loads of dirt and miscellaneous different kinds of stuff. But I really like this grapple. It's really come in handy, and it was a really good investment. I got to remember one thing with these tractors. I'm new to tractors, but this thing's not a skidder. Skidders are made to go through the woods and run over stuff. They got big heavy plates underneath that'll protect the underneath. This is really not designed to do that, so I got to be a little careful. Don't want to go damage anything underneath, so kind of take it easy a little bit. But today we got pretty much done what we were hoping to get done. I got a few small stumps in here. I got to back up and put the backhoe on and kind of finish kind of clearing out some of the bigger stuff here. But then I can put the bucket back on, and I'll get this all leveled out, cleaned up, and that'll make our expansion area here a little bit bigger. We'll call that a day. Thank you all for tagging along. Appreciate you watching. Comment. Give us the thumbs up if you don't mind. Appreciate all our subscribers. It really helps a lot. We're really enjoying this, Brenda and I, and yeah, we'd like to keep doing some more for you guys. We got a lot of projects lined up, so thanks again for joining, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.